Have you ever tried to defend yourself and noticed that the more you explained, the weaker you sounded? As if your words lost weight while someone else's silence crushed you. What you didn't realize is that, more often than not, reacting is the most disguised way of surrendering. Today, you'll discover what the ancient Stoic philosophers knew centuries ago. True strength isn't found in winning arguments, but in mastering yourself. The calm man under accusation is stronger than 1,000 arguments. This video isn't about defeating others. It's about defeating impulse. It's about turning anger into lucidity, pride into presence, and attack into nothing. Once you understand that, no insult will ever touch you again. What if I told you that your most natural reaction in a conflict is exactly what ensures your emotional imprisonment? There's a brief instant, a breath between attack and response. That's where the ordinary man gives in, and the Stoic awakens. The moment someone confronts you, you feel the urge to justify, to prove you're good. But to Marcus Aurelius, that's the moment you lose, because when you rush to explain yourself, you're declaring to the world that others' opinions have power over you. True power, he said, lies in remaining still within, even when the world screams around you. The man who defends himself gives up his center. The man who observes, understands, and stays silent remains free. Silence here isn't strategy, it's self-mastery. Think of how many times you reacted too quickly. A comment at work, a harsh message, an injustice. Before you noticed, you were trying to wipe an invisible stain. But whoever tries to prove purity is already stained by the desire for approval. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone insults you, that's their opinion. It's up to you to decide whether it harms you." The Stoic understands that offense doesn't live in words. It lives in how you receive them. Insults only take shape when they find shelter in your mind. Defending yourself rarely convinces, it only shows attachment. Because the one who tries to control others' judgment forgets he can't even control his next thought. Serenity begins when you give up the need to prove anything. The ordinary person wants to be understood. The Stoic wants to be whole. One fights for reputation. The other cultivates character. He who seeks approval becomes a slave to the crowd. He who seeks virtue is free even from applause. When someone calls you cold or arrogant, and you rush to explain, you've already stepped off your path. Marcus Aurelius would remind you, let not the voices of others steer your course, but the quiet light of your own reason. Stoic firmness isn't born of indifference, but of understanding. To react is to pay tribute to another's emotion, and he who lives reacting lives as a puppet to others' impulses. Mastery of self, that is the truest power. Think of the calmest people you've ever met. They don't win by force, but by stillness. They need no explanation. Their integrity speaks louder than words. Inner peace is the invisible shield that nothing can pierce. When someone provokes you, two battles arise, the outer one loud and fleeting, and the inner one which decides everything. The ordinary man may win the first and lose the second. The Stoic ignores the first and conquers the second. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens that disturbs a man, but his opinion of what happens." As long as you believe you must react, you're a slave to emotion. When you realize you can choose silence, you become free. You're not at war with the other person, but with your reflection in them. Every accusation is a chance to see what still shakes you. The Stoic doesn't flee from provocation. He turns it into a mirror, and in that reflection he polishes his own soul. Don't confuse silence with weakness. Stoic silence is active, watchful. He observes, understands, and decides what's worth his energy. And almost nothing is. His answer is composure. His defense is stillness. The man who has learned to hold his tongue holds more power than the army that conquers a city. For he who conquers others is strong, but he who conquers himself is invincible. This is victory without spectators. Imagine a meeting room. Someone questions your work with a cold, dismissive tone. The others turn to see how you'll react. You feel the urge to justify yourself, to prove you're right. But the Stoic breathes. He knows the true test is not the other person's words. It's his own heartbeat. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Let not the behavior of others destroy your inner peace." The man who is angered by injustice commits the same injustice. Calmness in that moment is not submission, it's clarity. Because when you don't react, you reveal that their power is only noise, and noise can't disturb a mind in harmony. People expect reactions, because reactions confirm their importance. When you deny them that validation, the attack dissolves into air. Silence is not retreat, it's command. It's the gesture that says, "Nothing here is worthy of disturbing my soul." In the professional world, this posture is gold. Those who react too quickly reveal emotional vulnerability. Those who remain calm under pressure show something rarer, self-mastery. And to everyone watching, self-mastery looks like power. Seneca said, "No wind is favorable to the man who doesn't know where he's going." Likewise, no criticism harms the one who knows who he is. An attack only takes root where doubt already lives. But the one who stands firm in clarity never needs to defend himself. He just remains centered. In relationships, the same principle applies. When someone says, "You don't care about me anymore," most people rush to prove their love. The Stoic does not. He understands that many accusations come not from truth, but from pain. So he answers with serenity, "I see it differently." And the weight of emotion fades in the light of reason. The Stoic's goal is not to be right, it's to be at peace. Peace is not won through arguments, but through mastery of the pulse. True silence confuses those who crave chaos. The other person raises their voice, repeats themselves, trying to provoke. But each new word only exposes their own turmoil. Meanwhile, you remain still. And in that contrast, the truth becomes clear. You were never on trial, or they were. In the digital age, this wisdom becomes essential. We live in arenas of opinion, where every word is a weapon. But the Stoic understands that the online court is fickle. Those who justify themselves sink. Those who beg for purity are devoured by doubt. But those who stay silent, with presence and strength, earn respect. The silence of the wise is not absence, it's control. And when he finally speaks, every word carries the weight of necessity, not vanity. Crowds don't follow those who shout. They follow those who stay calm while everyone else burns. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is endurable, endure it. If it is not, your reaction will not change it." In a world of noise, endurance is victory. To endure with dignity is to master your destiny. When someone calls you arrogant and you answer, "Funny how calmness makes people uncomfortable," you didn't attack, you held up a mirror. An attack, when met with serenity, bends beneath its own weight. There is something almost sacred in the power of not reacting. Silence makes others hear their own echo, and that echo is the sound of their unconsciousness unfolding. The wise man doesn't raise his voice. He lets others drown in the sound of their own disorder. With time, this posture creates something stronger than respect. It creates aura. People start to choose their words carefully around you, not out of fear, but out of reverence for your balance. Your calm becomes an invisible field, and within it, chaos loses power. The Stoic doesn't want to be feared when he wants to be unshaken. And the unshaken man appears to the world indestructible. Because nothing shakes the one who has already accepted what cannot be changed. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "When someone does wrong, remember, he acts so because he believes it's right. And if you understood what he understands, you might do the same." That silent compassion is the Stoic's shield. It makes him untouchable, not through hardness, but through understanding. This isn't about winning arguments. It's about transcending the need for them. Because once you stop playing, the other realizes there's no game, and their power fades. The modern world teaches you to reply, to explain, to correct every comment. The Stoic learned the opposite. The more you try to explain yourself, the more you lose control of your own story. But when you stay silent, the story dissolves, and all that remains is your presence, strong enough to speak for itself. The strength Marcus Aurelius taught was not of the fist, but of the mind that does not bend to chaos. He knew the true battlefield is within, and the noblest victory is peace. So next time someone provokes you, don't offer the emotion they expect. Observe, breathe, let your silence speak your integrity. And if you must speak, do it with the calm of one who has nothing to prove. You were not meant to mirror others' emotions. You were meant to reflect your own reason. He who rules himself is not just strong, he is free. And that freedom is what the world fears most. Because no one can control the one who does not react. No one can command the one who has chosen peace. The Stoic doesn't live in defense, he lives in definition. His calm defines the room. His presence sets the rhythm. And when he finally speaks, the world listens. Because his silence has already said everything. If this message brought you clarity, show it with a simple act. Not for vanity, but as a reminder to yourself that you've chosen reason over noise. Like this video, subscribe to the channel and continue the journey. Here, every reflection is an exercise in presence, and every new video is an invitation to sharpen your mind. No algorithm teaches virtue, but every conscious choice brings you closer to it. Choose to continue. Choose to grow. In the end, this is the true victory. Not to win debates, but to conquer yourself. Not to silence others, but to silence the noise within. And when the world can no longer pull you off center, you'll understand what Marcus Aurelius meant when he wrote, "A noble man is one who governs himself. Now, look within. Even in storms, there's a point of calm inside you. That is where virtue lives, and from there your true strength is born."